In today's video, I'm going to do a few things. Let's get into the update, and there is more stimulus coming, and I know a lot of people will be like, it's not going to happen? No way. Is the federal government going to provide any more stimulus checks? And you are right, I do not believe this the federal government with the Congress that we have no going to provide the full stimulus check. I just don't see it. However, I'm not talking about the full stimulus check. I'm not even talking about the federal government. What I'm talking about is, do I think that we're gonna see additional stimulus here where it's coming from the states? The state level is where we are going to see additional stimulus. It might come in a form of first rental assistance coming out, or they might expand who can actually qualify. We might see something like pandemic at EBT for the schools for the school year 2021 to 2022 that get approved by certain states. We might see things like, a stimulus check here and there. We might see something as far as essential workers, teachers, and educators, but there may be more there. I also see that many states are providing a smaller stimulus check to lower income earners. California has done this multiple times. We know that there are multiple states that are considering doing something, like quarantine income program I addressed this couple weeks ago, that the multiple states have considered this, but they are testing it out in the small pilot programs, right here. In the Washington state in Tacoma, we are seeing a pilot program as well, and there's multiple pilot programs for get these quality income programs. I think the state has one right, many different cities have them, and so that's your stimulus that we're gonna see now. Here's one thing I can just point out that I know it's gonna impact a lot of people. Some people are be very upset by it, but the truth is majority of the middle class Americans cannot gonna see anything, nothing. They're gonna see probably some tax benefits for the rich, and we are going to see more stimulus for lowest income earners. The people in the middle are going to be squeezed and have nothing. I know that's going to trigger a lot of people, but that's what writing on the wall is telling us. A middle class is going to get almost nothing. So that's what we know regarding stimulus coming up. But just understand, once we see which state provided that, which counties and cities are providing additional stimulus, I promise that I will bring you that update as soon as we get that information. Let's start talking about pandemic, EBT, and SNAP benefits. First, I want to give you the list of the states that have already extended their emergency allotment for January 2022, and this list includes Alabama, Georgia, Hawaii, Illinois, Iowa, Kentucky, Maryland, New Jersey, North Carolina, Oklahoma. We've got Oregon, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wyoming, and we also have the Maine, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. That's in the list. Let's go address with the state as up right now. Through the fourth school years 2021 and 2022 pandemic EBT. Now, if you're not sure exactly what this is, when you're talking about the school year 2021 and 2022 for the pandemic EBT, what this mean is that when your school is shut down in this particular state because of the COVID weather, natural disaster, or what these states are going to provide your child with the set amount of money per day. Now, this is really important, and here's the reason why many states are reporting that children that were at home due to COVID, right, that were not getting pandemic EBT, no more pandemic EBT. The problem was they didn't have enough food to eat. Well, what about those that are, break, right? What about them that are not at school, and what are they doing? Well, these days are going to be provided to them with additional assistance, additional nutrition assistance, and these days include, and the worst part about this is there, money there, but more states aren't applying for this, which is just baffling to me. But here are the states that are still approved, and I report the exact same state last month. As well, we have Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Minnesota, New Mexico, and North Carolina. Those are only 6 states that are currently approved. So I will keep looking into this, because if your state in audit, I want to make sure that I trust that. And let's address the SNAP benefits for right now. Here's one thing that been happening lately is that I've been getting a lot of questions from people worried about that these SNAP benefits are going to be lost by many because their income is increased. But what happens with this when somebody loses the benefits because their income increased? What happens? Well, here what I can tell you, because this is serious issue and your social security, and I have addressed this morning as well. If your social security, your 519 cost of living adjustment is going in many cases going to push people right, obviously, but in some cases the 519 cost of living adjustment is going to push people up over limit for SNAP benefits. And if this happened, you could actually see a cut to your benefits starting next month in January. So, one thing I strongly recommend, there's nothing you can do. You can't write a letter and say, hey, I don't want these. These benefits do not increase my social security benefits. 6%, 6.8%, whatever rate. You did ask for this, and this coming month, when inflation likely takes up to 7%, you didn't ask for 7% inflation. You didn't ask for 519 cost living adjustment. You didn't ask for your SNAP benefits to be reduced because you are now making more money. You didn't ask for this. So this is why I say just plan accordingly, because you can plan ahead. Now, one thing that many people don't realize that is that with the SNAP benefits, you can buy things other than just food now. You can't go and buy, hot food. Yet in some cases, I trust that in the minutes. But many people don't realize you can buy the seeds. Do you know this? You can actually grow your own food, and by growing your own food, it's going to save you a lot of money. You are not gonna have to travel down to a grocery store. You want to have to go and pay, dollar for whatever the cucumber. You don't have to do this. You can save money by growing your own food. Now, don't ask me how you do that. So again, one thing I can tell you is go and plant some seeds. Maybe you are good at this. Maybe you are good at gardening. You can buy seeds. You can buy the seeds with your SNAP benefits. And now another thing I want to mention is that multiple lawmakers have tried to introduce legislation, and new bill could be coming up very soon that could allow SNAP benefits to cover hot and prepared food. And now, what we maybe not know is that in some states that have a natural disaster, they're actually able to pipe food in the hot food actually during the state of emergency. And so we saw this happen last year. Was it Louisiana, Mississippi? We saw us in California and Oregon with the wildfires, right? We see this all the times. Lawmakers actually want to use it and take this and do something with it. So this can actually happen in very single state and not just during the state emergency. So this is actually really interesting. So and we also read now that more lawmakers are pushing to get more funding in nutrition assistance, and we saw Democrats have huge win by providing additional assistance for nutrition. Now we know Democrats initially wanted more assistance to provide for food for the school-aged students, but with all the assistance that's still available right now for school-aged children, many lawmakers are pushing to include these nutrient assistance programs for the homeless and the lowest income earners. So right now, since SNAP benefits recently saw an increase, right now there are so many discussions going on with what's going to be the next Build Back Better Act, because we know Democrats are going to adjust it and they're going to modify it in order to cater to senior climate change, but also to get all 15 Senate Democrats on board when they do this.